In this video, I'm going to tell you why Ashe is actually not that good of an operator, despite so many people using her, and why those people are holding back their true potential in Rainbow Six Siege. Ashe is an iconic Siege character. She's one of the original 20 operators and is often associated with the game in branding and marketing. She's a 3-speed, 1-armor attacker equipped with a very strong R4C and the underrated G36C assault rifle. And for her secondary, she can pick between the M45 Musoc or the 5.7 USG. Her primary gadget is a grenade launcher that shoots 2 delayed breaching rounds. You aim, you shoot, the round burrows into the wall, and a second later it explodes. Pretty basic operator with one of the highest pick rates. And this confuses me because there's so many other operators that have better and flat out more utility. Most of their guns aren't that bad, and many of them are just as good as the R4C, if not a little better because they have access to higher magnification sights. In terms of soft breaching, literally every other soft breach operator does it better. Buck can flat out destroy more soft surfaces and use his skeleton key as a weapon, if need be, more easily than Ashe's breaching round. And Sledge can also destroy more soft surfaces. In fact, it's rare for a sledgehammer to break before taking out nearly a whole building. I've never seen it happen in a real match. Myself, at least. Ashe can only open at least 2 walls. Not to mention, over half of the operators in the game have access to breaching charges, which may take longer to set up, but those operators also bring a separate primary gadget on top of the breaching charge, giving them more versatility. Ashe is just redundant. The primary comparison is Zofia. Zofia also has 2 breaching rounds, so she automatically fulfills the same exact primary utility as Ashe. And unlike Ashe's breaching rounds, Zofia's detonate instantly. There's no burrowing and no delay, which gives defenders less time to react. But then she has 2 concussion rounds, and then she can literally get herself back up after being downed. She's resistant to Gersmots, and she has access to an LMG, which may not be the preferred weapon of choice for Zofia, but if you're rushing, it's nice to not have to reload. She brings more versatility and utility than Ashe. And one of those guns, the LMG, has an ACOG, by the way, unlike Ashe. So why is it that despite bringing the least utility out of any operators in her specific role, and even most operators in the game in general, Ashe is incredibly popular on every skill level of Siege? I think it's primarily psychological. She's one of the original 20 ops, so she brings a sense of nostalgia and familiarity to the player, especially players who've been playing since the beginning. But Ashe is attractive to newer players as well, because the game has gotten significantly more complicated over the years, and Ashe is a simple, to-the-point, nuts and bolts kind of soldier character that anyone can easily understand and get the gist of within 1 round of playing her. The other factor is that I think most people unconsciously realize that Ashe is not that important. Think about it. If an attacker is going to die in the first 30 seconds, would you rather it be Ashe or Thermite or Thatcher or Montaigne? Put simply, when Ashe dies, it does not have as negative as an impact onto the outcome of the round as when other operators die. Almost every other operator. I can think of maybe 3 ops that have less utility than Ashe: Tachanka, Glaz, and Warden. So because of this, the player inherently knows that their strategic value is lower than almost everyone else, so they can afford to take a bigger risk, push ballsier fights, and make more aggressive plays. Because if they die, it's not as detrimental to the team as when someone else or any other operator dies. Because you don't lose much when Ashe dies, except for a teammate that can shoot at defenders. So when someone is playing Ashe, they don't need to be as nervous about letting their team down, and they're emboldened to take aggressive opportunities they normally wouldn't, which results in the player making more mistakes, but also having more round-winning plays. This is why it's almost a common sight to see Ashe mains rush into the building within the first 30 seconds without droning. Most of the time, she gets killed quickly. But sometimes this attack everything strategy occasionally works. The player will get multiple kills and create an easily winnable situation for their team. The problem is this creates a false perception of Ashe. Because the player pushes everything when they play Ashe and therefore technically get more positive big plays, they incorrectly associate Ashe with those big plays and incorrectly associate not getting big plays with other more useful operators. The player also tends to ignore the majority of the results of them being aggressive with Ashe. Failure. Most of the time, if you play this recklessly, it will not work. This is a mistake because it's not Ashe or her loadout that enabled those positive moments. It's the player being fearless and confident enough to push everything without worrying about if they die, they'll screw over their team. This psychological effect is like playing the lottery every single day. You might earn more money from the lottery than those who don't play it, but you also lose significantly more than those who don't. But as an impulsive human being who prefers the path of least resistance, you don't think about all you lost, you think about all you earned. Ashe has nothing to do with the amount of times a player has pulled off incredible moments, and everything to do with the player's mental state. And a mindful, conscious, thoughtful player can achieve the same fearless state with any operator they pick with practice and building self-confidence, and therefore achieve the same amount of big round winning plays, if not more, because they are better equipped with other ops to create favorable conditions. The trick is to know when and when not to turn on that attack dog mentality, which is a skill, but when people play Ashe, they tend to just stay on attack mode and not worry about if what they're doing is the best possible strategy for the given circumstances. They just attack and attack and attack, push every defender, peek every angle, and take every gunfight. To be fair, this isn't Ashe's fault by design. It's the player's fault by psychology. Ashe is iconic, easier to play, less stressful, and oftentimes more fun to play than all the other more complicated operators. That doesn't mean Ashe doesn't serve a competitive, serious purpose. If your team decides they want to make a calculated rush or aggressive site push, Ashe is one of the better operators to do those things with, especially in synergy with other complementary operators such as Ying and Finka. I did not make this video to just say that Ashe sucks and you shouldn't play her, but I want Ashe mains to ask themselves, am I just playing Ashe because she's easy to play? And are there better options? Or could I help my team more than I am now while still being aggressive? The answer to all of those questions is yes. I hope you enjoyed my take on Ashe, and I hope you listened first before rushing to the comment section to cry about it. But that's going to be it for this video. Drink your water, wash your hands, wear your face mask, get some sleep, and stay unleashed.
What's probably going to happen is I'll stream from...
To the sweat down, drop my balls.
I
think I finagled us, though.
Hannah, you're built different. You're built different.
He's not built different.
I'm not.
Right there, skate! Right there, skate! Skate! Do the pew pew! Pew pew! Skate!
In the end. I forgot what operator it was.